Instead, we have the opportunity to make a habit of empathy, to recognize ourselves and each other.
What I've learned in terms of how Democrats lose, Democrats lose when they are not clear about what they stand for. Democrats lose when they are attacked, and because they don't know where they stand, they end up getting defensive instead of going on the offensive. So let me give you a very specific example. I am looking forward to having a debate with whether it's Rudy Giuliani or Mitt Romney about the fear-mongering that has dominated the Republican debate of late, where they say, I'm going to double Guantanamo, or I think torture is okay, or or at least we'll redefine torture. So torture is not okay, but these things that look a lot like it are okay, or we need to do whatever it takes to, read people's emails. And I am looking forward to having that debate. What the problem we have is when we get defensive, and we're not sure about our beliefs and our convictions, and so we start trying to sound a little bit like them, and that is a profound mistake. One of the things that my wife and we said to ourselves when we got into this race is, if we start sounding like everybody else, then what's the point? The problem of the 21st century is the problem of the other, people who are not like us. Whether it's in religious terms, if you go to Sri Lanka, it's what's been fueling a vicious civil war there, even though everybody looks exactly the same. Same in Northern Ireland. Or it manifests itself in this country in racial terms. And that it has always been a nagging problem. There have been reports just this week that African Americans feel more pessimistic than they have in a very long time. And there's statistics that bear out how they in fact have not kept pace when it comes to economic growth in this country. The virulent anti-immigrant sentiment that we're seeing all across the country is something that has been striking. I mean, just in the last 2 years, you've seen a shift where, I fought for comprehensive immigration reform 2 years ago, and we didn't succeed, but there wasn't this raw anger about it that you see now, even when I'm campaigning among Democrats sometimes. So part of what I believe I bring to this office is somebody who sees the world through a variety of different races. My mother was white. My father was African. I grew up in Hawaii. I've got a sister who's half Indonesian. She's married to a Chinese Canadian. I've said...
Sounds like Google.
Yeah. It's family'd fit right in here, no doubt about it. But people talk about our federal budget deficit. We have an empathy deficit. We aren't able to see the world through other people's eyes.
Yes.
And that's what I think I can provide. Now, very concretely, what we need to do when it comes to issues of race, I think a lot of the tensions are tied to economics. African Americans and Latinos are much more likely to be unemployed, employed in lower wage jobs, not have health care, be in substandard schools, drop out of school. So on every indicator, they're doing worse. And that contributes to that gap in perceptions that you're talking about, because the glass often looks half empty to a lot of African American and Latino children. And so part of our job in investing in early childhood education, or making sure that they're going to outstanding schools, or ensuring equality of opportunity when it comes to employment, enforcing our civil rights laws, investigating crimes like nooses being hung in classrooms. All that contributes to a sense that these kids matter to us, that they're not those kids, they're our kids. And when we can have a culture and a government that perceives every child as mattering, then they will respond differently, and I think we will start stitching together the kind of America that all of us hope and dream for.
Absolutely. Perfect.
See the world through other people's eyes. Now, empathy is a quality of character that can change the world.